Hi, I'm Erik Voss, and Avengers Endgame keeps teasing little clues and new promos to get us pumped. It's like they didn't get the memo that everyone's already seen this movie. But I'm not complaining because you know me. Give me a half-second shot of Black Widow and I'll tell you what time of day it is based on her haircut. We are 2 weeks away from the movie's premiere, but I want to dig into this promo footage one last time because there's actually some really cool implications of the missable details in these shots. And spoiler warning in case I get anything too right in her life. Okay, this promo is called Mission, and let's watch the first clip.
You know your teams, you know your missions. No mistakes, no do-overs.
Okay, we've seen most of this footage in past trailers with the exception of this quick shot of Cap sitting in the seat on the Guardian ship, the Benatar. It blasts into hyperspeed, the G-forces push him back. This poor soldier has never been in space before, folks. Hopefully his and all the others' faces will get distorted and warped the way Rocket's did when they ricocheted through space in Guardians 2. Look, it's a sad time. We could use some laughs. Now, based on clues that we've gotten in other trailers and in sneak peeks, I think this mission on the Benatar is part of an early, rushed, first act assault on Thanos that might not go all that well for the Avengers. But this promo actually hints at the later in the film main plot of Endgame with a new voiceover from Cap. Cap says, "You know your teams, you know your missions, no mistakes, no do-overs." Whoa, okay, teams, missions, plurals. This tells us that after whatever mission the Avengers initially go on to go get that son of a bitch, there will also be a separate strategy in which the Avengers break up into smaller teams and go on different missions, a divide and conquer strategy. This voiceover also establishes that the Avengers will only have one attempt to get these missions right. No mistakes, no do-overs. Kinda sounds a lot like the Thanos line to Thor at the beginning of Infinity War.
No resurrections this time.
The exact details of this complex strategy remains the biggest mystery of Avengers Endgame, but everything we know tells us that it could involve some tech-based solution harnessing the power of the quantum realm, meddling with timelines through time travel to past moments in the Marvel timeline, or splitting into parallel timelines within a multiverse, or resetting the time loop that they're already on, whatever it is. It sounds like the Avengers will try Cap's plan first to lay down their lives to avenge the fallen, and when that fails, they'll try Stark and Banner's more brainy solution, a turn that would have been foreshadowed all the way back in the first Avengers movie.
You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play, to lay down on a wire and let the other guy crawl over you.
I think I would just cut the wire.
Always a way out.
Hell yeah, there's a way out, Steve. This is a comic book movie. No one has to die. Just change the rules. And now, maybe the wire Tony's gonna cut is the timeline that led to their defeat here, rethreading it so that it leads to another future where they win. But who will be on these teams, these missions? Well, the next clip gives us some more clues.
Look out for each other. This is the fight of our lives. He's pretty good at that, right?
Avengers Endgame.
Okay, there's surprisingly a lot here. First, there's a relatively new shot. We actually saw it in a past promo. It shows Rocket and War Machine losing their footing in the midst of an explosive attack. But if you look closely, right as the explosion starts, the background wall establishes this setting as Avengers HQ. This confirms that there will be some attack on Avengers HQ, perhaps due to Thanos suddenly having something to worry about and attempting to stop the Avengers as they make progress with all their timeline meddling. And as Cap finishes his rallying speech, we see several Avengers once again wearing these white and red suits. Now, we've been calling these the quantum suits or quantum armor because they resemble the suit Hank Pym wore in the Quantum Realm in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and some Marvel merchandise has described them this way. Presumably, these suits will allow the Avengers to operate in the quantum realm for however they plan to violate the laws of physics. But notice Black Widow. Her hair clock tells us it's 0 red 30, meaning it's sometime after the opening act mission. More importantly, behind her, there's this curved piece of equipment, the kind that could enclose a space to make an energy field. And I don't think it's a coincidence that this overhead shot of them throwing their hands in is framed to create the visual of a clock. So yeah, but whose hands are these? There are 9 of them, and we know included in this quantum group are Cap, Stark, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Scott Lang, and Rocket, of course. The past trailer shot also included Nebula and Rhodey. His quantum suit is thicker, more War Machine-y, so he might be the thicker arm on the left, which might explain the glowing red light on the midsection, or or he could be the more mechanical gauntlet on the arm in the 6 o'clock position. So that would make 8, leaving one more mystery Avenger in this overhead shot. Some are saying the thicker arm could be Bruce Banner in Hulk form. Many of us have theorized before that Bruce Banner could become the smarter Professor Hulk form from the comics in this movie. But in this shot, nah. Hulk's arm and hand would be way bigger than this. Remember Black Widow? Sun's getting real low, palm read? Kind of a weird moment, but it should burn the scale of old green banana fingers in your mind. So my thinking is the 9th one could be normal Banner, or maybe Thor, and Hulk is like standing off to the side. Like they wouldn't want him in the fist bump circle because he can't give a bro tap without knocking someone comedically off screen. It's just worth noting that not all of the survivors that we've seen in other shots are present here. Of Thor, Banner, and Carol Danvers, at least 2 of them are not in this circle. Maybe Thor and Carol went off on their own side mission. Thor does like that one. And of course, I should acknowledge that the Russo brothers have admitted to using CGI to fake many shots throughout these trailers. And of course, the Infinity War trailers had plenty of shots that weren't in the final film. Now, while I think shrinking Hulk's hand would be too much effort for a trailer, some of these hands must have been fooled around with. Because look at the shot of Rocket. You can see Scott Lang's hand on the side there, and it has some device on the back of the palm. Maybe it's his Pimtech, or maybe it's the clock-like devices that we saw in their hands in set photos. But then, in the overhead shot, all of their hands are bare. So, foul play. I'm just wondering how this group will divide and conquer into the teams that Cap referred to. What are their missions? Are there gonna be 2 teams of 4 and 5? 3 teams of 3? I feel like Rocket and Nebula would end up on a team, maybe to go after the Power Stone in some other time period or timeline. And then those set photos I mentioned suggested Stark, Cap, Scott Lang, and Bruce Banner will be on another team. I kinda like the idea that maybe each of these 9 will be alone, team captaining their own team of alternate timeline Avengers, Guardians, Asgardians. Kinda like the Remedial Chaos Theory multiverse episode of Community, where each of these 9 timelines is led by the prime POV protagonist Avenger who has to convince the others of that timeline to help them grab the stone. Does this sound complicated? Yeah. Whatever it is, it's a good thing we got 3 hours to process it all. Folks, in these final days, we're likely to see lots of little shots and TV promos and hints from the cast when they appear on talk shows, especially if they're Ruffalo. So starting now, I'm probably gonna lay low on the daily gossip. Maybe I'll share some more final theories and some reflections on Infinity War, but then I plan to unleash hell on you when Endgame finally comes out. Deal? Now for my thoughts on general civility and spoilers during this Endgame countdown period, follow me on Twitter, and you can follow me on Instagram, both at Erik Voss, and subscribe to New Rockstars for everything Marvel and Avengers related. And if you plan to go to VidCon this June, please tweet at VidCon to let them know that you'd love to see us host a panel, a live show, a meet and greet. We would just love to hang out with you guys and grieve together over whoever tripped on their way out of the Benatar and didn't survive to throw their hands in for the Avenge the Fallen attempt number 2. We're gonna cry a lot during this movie, but hopefully the tears will dehydrate our bladders because 3 hours. Oh God.